just out there with no cell service, and we just kind of looked at each other and we're like, okay, we're really doing this. Why Yukon? What's up there? Why right now? Are you guys crazy? What are you doing up there? And you know, there were a few times where I thought maybe we were a little crazy, but I feel like there's some misunderstandings out there. And bears aren't foreign to us, but going on this trail that started off with okay weather and then turning into a snowstorm and a windstorm, and seeing fresh bear tracks on the trail that were the size of double my hand was just, again, one of those moments where we were like, okay, we're really out here. And it was just like a deep breath just flowing through. It was just amazing to just feel so out there so quickly. And that was sort of the whole thing and feeling of the whole trip, was just one big deep breath. We knew that it was going to be a wild ride, a wild experience, but I think just a combination of things when we got there. The no cell service, getting a extra jerry can of gas because how far the gas stations were, and only seeing one other person at the campsite that we had pitched our tent in. All of these things just kind of started culminating, and we looked at each other and we were kind of like, okay, like, we're doing this. Like, this is as out there and as raw as it gets. I have no other words to describe it, I guess. We saw pictures, we knew how beautiful it was going to be, but actually being there and feeling the vastness, feeling that emptiness, feeling that utter silence of absolutely nobody. Every time I still think of it right now, I just get this kind of like goosebump and flowy feeling through me, and it just makes me so happy. The landscapes were incredible, the people were incredible, the wildlife was so incredible. It was everything I thought it was going to be and more. Questioning at times our ability to do the things we set out to, staying up late for the aurora and then getting up again to hike and just continually pushing through. I think that's what made this trip so special, that we overcame so much in such a short period of time. And I just remember sitting there just drenched, trying to eat some food that had gotten cold, and still just being like, this is so beautiful. It just seemed like we had challenges and twists and turns thrown at us every single day, and you just sort of get like a glimpse of confidence, or just, again, glimpses of beauty. And I feel like the growth that we experienced in that short period of time is something that I would be so grateful for forever. And it's just, you know, it's crazy. so excited to go on this trip and get all these awesome pictures, and I still look at the pictures now and think, wow, that's so beautiful, but I feel like you don't necessarily get the sense of the struggle, and maybe that's on me, but it's really hard to talk about all this stuff that happened in pictures. So it's like, did we really just do this, or am I still as good of a scrambler as I was 6 years ago? Am I still capable of doing these things, or am I as tough as I think I am? And my eyes would start watering, and I would just sit there and just have like this huge emotional release sometimes when we would actually make a hike and make a summit and get to where we wanted to go, because it was just like, whew, okay, like it was just everything at once, and I feel like it just created this like big emotional release. I don't know, but it was interesting. Anyway, all you can really do is observe, not try to judge too much. We were doing this one hike, and when we got to the top, you could see the road, but there weren't even cars on the road. That's how quiet it was. It was just us sitting at the top of this mountain. You couldn't see anything. We also came during that specific time was that's when the auroras were starting to really kick up, and we'd never seen it before, and people I know told me how beautiful it was. I don't know if I wasn't expecting much, because I was almost scared that we weren't gonna see it, so I was trying not to hype ourselves up too much. And I remember the first night that we went, it was getting later and later, and you know, we had found this spot, quite a few other locals were there, and people started leaving. You know, I can't remember what time it was, 1 something, or it was getting late, so you would see cars just start up, drive away, and we just kept looking at each other being like, 15 more minutes, you know, 10 more minutes. I knew it was coming. I just was like, no, we gotta stay. And there was only a few cars left, and eventually we did see it, and I just remember just our first like thought and just sheer excitement of like, I think that's it. Because when you see them for the first time, it's almost like you don't believe that that's what's happening. The childlike excitement, that it was just so good. And we did that for 2 more nights, and it didn't really get old, and it was just the best. You know, sometimes people think it's just so crazy why do you put yourself through that? Or, you know, I think of when we were doing one of these hikes and we got into the Alpine and snowstorms started happening, windstorms started happening. We're like, okay, we have to go back. But being in that, I don't have any other words to say it, but being in that raw, wild wilderness and just experiencing that, even when you're soaked, even when you're tired and the wind's just blowing at your face, I love that feeling. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but it's just, maybe it's because it isn't a good feeling, it isn't a bad feeling, it just is. Like, that's just what's happening. And yeah, I guess I do kind of love that feeling. Anybody who's watching this has been there or been up north, have any questions or experiences, I just want to hear. I want to go back so bad. Maybe we'll drive up from BC to the Yukon or something, because there's still so much more to see there. But I want to hear your experiences, because I feel like a lot of people I know just haven't been there. Hope you enjoyed that little tidbit and inside story time of our Yukon experience. Again, I just think it's so hard to just show in pictures, and I just hope I spread a little light on a special little place for me. And again, any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Would love to chat more about this kind of stuff, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. I will try and get better at this. Love you so much. Thanks for watching. Take care wherever you are. If you're still here, look at this cute hat I got. I really wanted a toque, and it was a little more colorful than I thought, but super happy about that.